Hello everyone and welcome to another video with me, Umber and today I'm talking about the JP News update. The Japan side for the last week has had a pretty uneventful time. It's basically currently just a lot of weapon farming, and that's about it. That's about it. And it's not even really interesting weapon farm. It's status effect filled, and man, do I miss the days when there just weren't maps filled with Lamias. Thanks, Gummy. Thanks for that one. Anyway, despite all that, let's get into the actual news, because there is some news, some new weapon farms, some new event, and I'm already kind of afraid of what it will potentially be like, but let's go through it real quick. So first of all, there will be a collaboration. The collaboration is to do with the fact that Crystal Chronicles Remastered will be releasing this week. And it's kind of a big moment, I think, because there isn't really a ton of other games coming out right now. And the other thing is that Crystal Chronicles, I always felt like it was just super kind of underappreciated. Obviously, back in the days where you had to use like a ton of Game Boy Advances on the GameCube, and depending on where you lived, and it could just be really difficult to try and get this game, So, I mean, hopefully this is going to be a successful launch for this game, and it's going to get more attention than it used to in the past. This game is not without controversy, but that's another thing for another video. So let's talk about Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles collaboration. It is a very light collaboration. Don't expect any characters to be showing up, because that is very clearly not what they wanted to do. So, the introduction, as you can see, login period will have some rewards, including a SSR level card for everybody who logs in for at least one day, and some shards as you log in otherwise. Other than that, it looks like the paid lapis, which recently on the Japanese sides changed from, I think it was like 300 per day, has gone down to 60 per day, which is generally pretty good. Looks like it's going to have pretty nice things this week, as it's going to be day 1 you're getting 1, day 3 you're getting 2, and day 5 you're getting 3. That's a lot of UR orbs. Maybe the lapis sales have slowed down, so they're finally trying to be competitive. Good. Alright, continuing on, before we get into that, let's take a look at what the primary new banner will feature, which is going to be Crystal Chronicles, as well as a brand new card. And to say the least, I'm not super excited about this. Oh, right, it's this one, sorry. So there's going to be 4 new vision cards added to the game, and one of these vision cards is incredibly important, so we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. So first is the collaboration card that you will get 1 copy of and 20 shards just by simply logging into the game over the course of 4 days, but total I think is like 5 or 7 or whatever, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, taking a look at this card, the interesting thing, party ability is attack up, and the unique ability will be JP point up. Now this synergizes pretty well with the vision card that you can pay, I think it's like $10 for, and it's like a MR vision card that ups the job points in the entire party. So for a free card, I think this is fine. It seems like a nice little farming card if you have a bunch of physical characters. And in general, just the fact that this can stack, if you have ovals, and you have the other vision card that ups JP, and then you have this card that ups JP, great, great. Faster JP farming. Let's go. Now, next card. This card feels very much like the ketone card. This is not the card that I'm super excited about. But in general, I mean, I'm always a little iffy about these cards. If they reuse artwork, I'm less excited about them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. So its party ability is Fire Attribute Attack Up, and its granted effect is Defense Up and Avoid Down. So first of all, an entire party-based defense card is really interesting, because that's, depending on how much defense it gives, that's just generally pretty strong to have across the entire party. Not to mention that if you stick this card on someone like in a party with maybe Rain or Delita or Summer Ketone, or better yet, all three of them, all of them are sharing that fire attribute ability up, and they're all getting a higher defense stat from it. Now, there is defense piercing, so again, really depends how much defense is on this card. It is a UR card, but interesting to say the least, but not the most interesting. Next up, if we've had a Moogle and we've had a Chocobo, well, we've actually had 2 Chocobos, it's time for the Tonberry to enter. That's right, the Tonberry card will be the next of the summon cards, and this one should be noted, it's not limited time or anything like that, so you don't have to panic and try and get this card right away. You can just pick this card up later, potentially, so that's fine. So, what is it? It looks like a status effect. I think it's Don't Act. In other words, like the Disable status effect, it will give you some extra resistance to that. That is the granted effect. The party effect is Increased Magic Attack Resistance. This might be a really good free-to-play card. Not just because it comes with a summon, and I'm imagining that Tonberry will be pretty good, because listed on here, Tonberry is a non-elemental damage dealer, which is always a point of interest, not to mention Tonberries are awesome. You all need a Tonberry plush at some point in your life. That's just a known fact. Anyway, this card I think is just generally really strong because it's lower cost, it seems like it'll be pretty high value, and the magic attack resistance is just a nice way. I think that's just really nice for the future. So yeah, I'm giving a big seal of approval to the Tonberry card. Couldn't be that surprising. But last but not least, and holy crap do I love this artwork, just going to break the swearing thing and just give it right now. So this card is the really interesting card. This is the one that is by far and away the ooh moment. So first of all, party ability, Magical Attacker Killer. So in other words, it's Mage Killer. So this is really interesting because it is a counter to mages, and that's across the entire party. So you can stick this on a physical attacker, you could stick this on a magical attacker, you could stick this anywhere in your party, and so long as it is classed as a magic damage dealer, guess what? You're going to be dealing extra damage to it. I think this card would be just plain strong if we stopped right here, but we also have the granted effect. The granted individual effect is magic power up. Now, first of all, that to me automatically sounds like it's going to be percentage, but it might just be, you know, the attack up. Either way, seems like it's going to be a really good card for mages. Second, but not thing to consider, this also grants a limited ability that the main job can now equip a cane. This is the first time we've seen this, of a vision card that actually has the ability to equip it adds basically equipping a new weapon type. Now, given that there are some pretty good magic canes already in the game, this could be interesting in terms of shifting units' directions, potentially making some units way stronger to deal with certain magical attacks they may have. This is interesting, but it doesn't stop there, because this is the first vision card. Yes, this is the first vision card to have a vision ability. And what is it? It is a magic spell, Ruinga. And yeah, it is listed as a large damage magic spell. It does not seem to have an element on it, meaning that it is non-elemental magic. It is not AoE. It looks like it is a single target spell. But given the power of this card, I think that this is the new vision card to get. Even if I wasn't just in awe about how cute Lorelei as well as Lorelei. Anyway, the Wind MR Archer with our Thunder Sparky Boy Mage of Skull. I really think that, you know, this card is the full deal. It is incredibly powerful. It grants equipment bonuses, and much like I thought, it seems like vision cards are just going to be super power crap. This feels incredibly powerful. I would be really worried about any magical attacker for at least a little bit running them in most content. Either way, I think this card is amazing. I think this card is incredibly strong. I need to stop talking about it. But what would it be without banners? And here we get a peek at the banner. So, of course, there's your regular banner. There will be a 777 Lapis special multi-pull banner. This multi-pull banner can be done once per day. We've seen this before, and this is basically one of the best free-to-play values that we've ever seen. Now, there is something else to do with these multi-pulls, too. There is RNG on top of RNG. It's not just the fact that you will be getting a 10 pull, you will also get a bonus prize, and the bonus prize can be graded. It can be different things. I think it's meant to be like one of the tumblers that drops out like a multicolor ball. So like first prize is a rainbow rock or a rainbow orb. Second prize is gill snappers, or I think the vision card enhancers, and it just kind of goes down in terms of how much you get. I don't think that this is going to be incredible. I don't think this is going to be amazing, but it's extra value on a 777 Lapis, and they were good value in the past, and I think they'll be good free-to-play value now. So yeah. Continuing on, there will also be 2 5 steps. Sorry. So 10,000 Lapis, guaranteed at the end, one of the high tier UR vision cards. So this one, as you can see, basically features all 3, and there will also be one that features just kind of as a focus on the 2 right here. Now, what's interesting to note in the top one is that the rewards, you get 100 gill snappers, 300 of these, 30 of those, 3 UR orbs, and a partridge in a pear tree. Continuing on down to the next one, basically the same, except there is a select ticket, which seems to be a select ticket for basically magic enhancing stones for your Esper of the big quality. So either one of these seem pretty equal. It just seems really, if you want to limit between getting the limited time card to have a better chance at that, or to just potentially go for this vision card. And to be totally honest, well, I think the fire one is potentially really good. I'm definitely more leaning on the side of the Lorelei card. Partially because I like the art, partially because I like the ability, partially because I think it's going to be OP. Alright. There will be a guaranteed one for 2k paid Lapis. These, I haven't done a video about this. Maybe I want to do a separate video about this. But I think that these have immensely decreased in value, especially just getting one guaranteed off of it. I don't think these are good. Moving on. And there will also be kind of a SSR ticket thing to do with a multi-pull. Not super familiar with quite how this works. It seems to be some extra value that you're getting off of this, but in terms of just like how much value, not entirely sure. It seems to do with something with a chapter 11 being released that is selling these packages, and I'll see if I can't find that in here. Here it was. So to do with chapter 11 being released on the JP side, and spoiler alert, chapter 11 is being released on the JP side, there's going to be a special shop setup that seems to have a select ticket for shards. It is 40 shards, but it actually is a reduced pool, which, I'm going to be totally honest, I don't get this. I don't understand this at all. This doesn't seem like a clever or a smart thing to do. But gummy gonna gummy. Anyway, Rain, Medina, Howlet, Kilf, Scar, Glassy, Engel, and Ziza will all be available on the ticket, and it really depends on the cost of this. If it's anything like 2k paid Lapis, this is 1000% not worth it. Even if it's worth 1,000 paid Lapis, I still would probably say that it's not worth it. On the other side, there's also going to be a We don't know if this is going to be paid or yet. I'm going to assume that this will be paid. But looking at this one, this package, 40 gold EXP cubes are worthless, so it really depends on the cost of both of these to determine if they're good. But given the shops that we've seen on the JP side, I'm imagining they're going to be pretty bad. And that's just my opinion. Alright, so yeah, Crystal Chronicles is going to get a light collaboration. There's also going to be a few minor improvements to deal with, I do believe, Glassy and Howlet, to something either to do with their kits or their voices, something like that. Possibly their animation stances as well, which were recycled possibly due to Corona affecting work, but they seem to be fixed. Alright, as I said, Chapter 11 will be released on the JP side. This will just be more free lapis for people on the JP side. And last but not least, concluding this video is the Shiva challenge, which has a brand new piece of equipment. Looks like it's probably going to be Kingdom Hearts cloak. Nah, never mind. Not enough belt zippers or black. So yeah, it's probably going to be a mage piece of armor. It is MR/SSR quality. It will be starting tomorrow. And the recommended users that are going to be used for it are fire magic attackers. So in other words, Summer Ketone, Ishtola, and Rain are all the primary characters to be using on this event. If you are curious about how good they will be and whether anybody else will be useful, ask me when I've actually started playing it. And also we'll check out the difficulty at a later date once it is up. So yeah, pretty much that's all the pieces of information. Gotta say that new vision card definitely has me a buzz. I basically thought that vision card, now for anybody, just to conclude this video, I don't think that it necessarily rules out the idea that old vision cards won't get updated at some point with vision abilities, but I am definitely, the signs are definitely pointing to the idea that vision cards are 100% going to be power crept with these new vision abilities, not to mention potentially giving equipment options to other players. Finally, I can run Bling Stern with a cane just to confuse my opponent. Anyway, so that's all for this video, and thank you very much for watching. Take care. See you next time.